How you been?
Yeah.
It's been a minute
Man,
last time we spoke.
absolutely, man. We've been hanging in there. I guess, with this last deal was definitely different. As you've reiterated in the past, each deal will be different, and I guess no one expected Corona to hit and shake up the industry as far as lending and everything else.
Yeah, and that happens. Whether it's a pandemic, which is something that's extremely uncommon, right? Or whether it
Right.
could be an economic downturn. But Melvin, I'm sure you
Mm-hmm.
can agree, as a real estate investor, you still make money in any market, up, down, sideways.
Right.
Yeah, and you were still able to close even during this uncertain time.
Right, which gave me more confidence because it's just like when one door closed, the other one open. I guess would that even be common, Juan? Because I guess with the secondary market closed, I had to go out of my LLC and put the property in my personal name to just close the deal. But I guess you got to do what you got to do. I guess at that point.
Yeah, it's really just a mindset of knowing when to pivot, right, and make adjustments. Because lenders, being that they're the ones providing 80% of the financing, you know how it is, Melvin. Like with most assets, you just can't walk in the bank and say, "Hey, give me 80% of the money I need to buy," right?
Right.
Real estate, you can. So it's kind of like having a mindset of, all right, well, this person's giving me the majority of the capital I need to acquire this income-producing asset, and they prefer to be in my personal name as a result of these times of uncertainty, then why not? And there's ways to get around that, and which I'll give you some insight of how to do that as well. So I have an attorney that you can use. So what I've done as well, because that happened to me in the past as well, Melvin, which I had to acquire my personal name.
Gotcha.
I later quit claim. You ever heard that term before?
Absolutely.
There you go. So I quit claim the property out of my personal name into a business name, into an entity.
Okay.
Right.
Gotcha.
And had no issues with my mortgage company whatsoever. They were fine with it. So I was able to do that. So at the end of this call, I'll just forward you an email with my attorney's contact information.
Okay, that's awesome. So I guess the thing about it, because the one, so how it was I had a 7% interest rate with it being, if it would have proceeded that way, it would have been like 7%. But my personal, it got down to like 3.85. So will the rates and so forth like that, or is it just depending on the lender discretion?
Well, if you do the quick claim deed, your mortgage interest rates remain the same.
Really?
So it shouldn't change or will not change as a result of you just changing the ownership of the property.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. I'm glad you brought that up, because that's, a lot of clients, they want to move forward with buying a property in the LLC. I think you did that with your first deal, right?
Right, I did.
But that was like, times were good. So you did your first deal a few months back. You bought an LLC. What was the interest rate in the LLC? You remember it was like 5%?
Oh, matter of fact, Juan, I got it right here. Interest rate is 5.5.
Yeah, 5. Yeah, okay. So around 5.5%. And now you did a second deal a few months later, and you were able to get 3%.
Yes.
So you even were able to maximize your cash flow a tad bit more. So,
Exactly.
that happens in the real estate market. So it's just, you just got to be flexible and adaptable.
Yeah.
So my question to you, Melvin, is how many deals have you done so far?
This is the second one.
Second. And how many units do you have in total?
Total, I have 6.
6 rental units. Okay, good. And did you own properties before working with us, or were you just getting started into investing in real estate?
Just getting started. You birthed me, Juan. I was in my infant stages. You're raising me, man. You're raising me.
That's funny. Speaking of raising, has your cash or your credit raised as a result of our programs, or did you have any issues before coming across us with your credit or cash?
No, credit it's maintained. no problems with that. Far as cash, because our situation is definitely unique in the sense of when I did the business credit, with the what was it, Deaver deal with the package deal, and you had to restructure everything, which that took forever, but we was able to still get things done and closed. But that's just how it goes. The price of doing business, and it's steady. But I was just glad to get the second one to have another stream of income, and so I think everything will pan out.
Yeah, and that's just how it is with real estate.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, sometimes you deal with multiple different parties. You have the seller to deal with, you have the real estate agents, you have the mortgage lenders, the attorneys. So there's so many moving pieces, and the goal is to get them all aligned so you can close smoothly. But sometimes you might have a hiccup.
Oh yeah. So I mean, which I'm as you said, what you're teaching. I mean, that's just one of those things you got to go with the market. It's gonna be ups, downs. You just got to ride the wave at this point.
Yeah, and a lot of people have fears and doubts investing in real estate.
Yeah.
It's all the market conditions. So Melvin, did you have any doubts or fears before working with us, and how did you overcome them?
I did have doubts and fears because it's unknown, it's new, uncharted waters. I mean, you talking about turning. I'm like, how you turn credit into cash? But then, like you said, as I've learned, along with education, the fears, the fear goes down and the confidence level goes up. So during this whole process, Juan, my fears and doubts they're shrinking, like astronomically, and my confidence is gaining just as well. So I mean, the scale of it is it's amazing.
Wow. And so the results, Melvin, you got 6 rental units. Now, what areas did you get these units at?
The first property was in Elwood City. This property is located in Harrisburg.
Okay, got it. So far cry from where you currently stay at.
Oh, absolutely. Definitely not a hop, skip, and a jump.
Right. So did you have any reservations as well, investing out of state? And how did you overcome that as well?
Okay, yes, I did have reservations. I think I'm like anyone else. I got to be in the same city. I got to see the property. I got to drive by and look at it and know what's going on until, I took the course with you. And that day that we went out and saw the properties, I understood it more. I see why we're investing out of state. I see the market. I see what you're talking about. The properties, the price, the numbers on it. And I'm just like, well, if you got property management in place, they're the one that's doing the work. You just sit back and just let them do their job.
Exactly. It's just like starting a business, right? When you start a business, of course, starting out, you're bootstrapping your way up to success. You're everything from the CEO to the janitor. But the smart ones, they say, if I have a system in place and a team in place, then I don't actually have to be in the day-to-day operations. As
Right.
long as I have a reputable team or company to manage my properties for me, then all I got to do is just manage the manager.
That's it.
That's it.
Absolutely. And I mean, and I like when you were saying it before, like everything is in place now, I was like, okay, that makes sense. I was like, it can't be that easy, man. Come on. It got to be a little bit more. I'm like, he said he's a good salesman now. I was like, but Juan, it really is, it's coming true. I see it before my eyes and it's unfolding, and it's truly a blessing,
Excellent. Now, I know you closed during this uncertain time. So did you close in person or did you close remotely?
Remotely.
Remotely, okay. What is your experience closing remotely?
Remotely, I love it. The notary called me, probably 3:30. I met with her at 6. Met at a brokerage office, and she had the paperwork there, and we just signed. And that was it. She was like, that's it. And then I think the next day, Saturday, I had to go to the bank because I couldn't do the wire transfer that day because the bank's closed. And so I just made an appointment for 9 o'clock Saturday morning. Got that done. And Monday morning, I got a email from Stars saying, hey, we received the wire transfer and we're good to go.
Oh, yes, Stars, the settlement company, the closing attorney.
Yes.
That's
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So you did the same thing with your first deal too, right?
That's correct. Mm-hmm.
So you were able to use creative financing to buy 2 multi-unit properties out of state, and you did it all remotely.
That is correct. I was like, I never would have imagined, like, I can close remotely. I don't have to, be in person, travel out of state to close. I'm like, this is too good to be true.
Yeah, I mean, it was hard for me in the beginning, just to be honest with you, Melvin, because I lived in the New York City area, and I too, well, I don't want to say I too, because I don't want to call you this, but I was a control freak. I had to see it. I had to be, my eyes had to be on it. So I would drive from New York City to Pittsburgh pretty much once or twice a month. I would go there on the weekend and constantly see the market, meet with team members and so forth, look at the properties, and to the point where I started creating the systems and having a solid team in place that were trustworthy and reputable. It gave me more of my time back that, okay, great, I don't have to go there as often. I will go there maybe once to take a look at the property, maybe go there for closing, but only because I wanted to shake hands and rub elbows. That was it.
Right, exactly. Yeah, for the networking piece of it. I totally get that, Yeah. And as you said, I put in the work for you. So it's just so you don't have to do it. And the more that I see it, I mean, the more comfortable I am with it.
Okay. And how was it like working with the team, whether it's with the mortgage company? I know you say you had some hiccups there, but you ended up getting a lesser interest rate. I know you say you work with Star. So how was it like working with the real estate team?
Oh, everyone was professional, courteous. Any question I had, they had the answer. And so team is wonderful.
Excellent. So what's playing a bigger game for you?
All right. My plan now is hopefully, I guess with the cash flow, since hopefully it increases a whole lot more, that I'm able to handle more of the pay down the business credit.
Okay.
At this point, to free up, and plus I think probably to do more calling and getting higher limits on the credit limits, and go from there and just repeat the system.
That's it. Wash, rinse, and repeat. So yeah, most definitely. That's extremely important. So one of my philosophies, Melvin, was if I don't need it, don't eat it. So even with the cash flow, if it's not enough for me to say goodbye to 9 to 5, I'll just take that and just put it towards the business credit payment to aggressively pay it down. And I will also focus on working with my property management team of how we can how we can increase the performance of the asset. Meaning, checking out the leases, I will put this in my calendar to see, okay, when's the next time unit 1 needs a rent increase, unit 2 needs an increase. And I will make sure 60 days prior to the expiration of the lease to provide them with rent increases.
Okay.
For about $50 or 3% of the rent, whatever is greater. Okay, so when you increase the rent, that increases your net operating income, which increases the value. Okay, and in the same token, I will also work with my property management team and contractors to see how can I reduce the expenses. So such as, do you pay for utilities for any of the properties?
The only thing that I pay for is water/sewer. And with this one, I'm picking up trash.
Okay, so for water, you can go to Lowe's, Home Depot, any hardware store, and you can get water conservation kits to reduce the flow of the water. That will reduce your water bill. And you may want to also speak with your contractors to exchange the toilets from like a 3-gallon tank to a 1-gallon tank to reduce the water consumption.
Okay.
And also you can contest the taxes to see if you can get cost savings there. Like, for example, if the property's valued at 150,000 or assessed at 150,000, you may be able to hire an attorney locally in which you only pay them on the back end, which means, hey, if you save me money, I'll pay you a third of what you save me. And that's what I did. So I found an attorney.
Wow.
Yeah, I'll send you this information as well. So I give you 2 attorneys, one for quit claim deeds and another one for contesting taxes. Okay.
Okay.
I give you their information
Awesome.
in this call. Yeah, and he helped me a lot, and I just paid him on the back end.
Okay. Yeah.
So, and of course, if you have insurance, you might want to bundle insurance. That could be some cost savings there. So pretty much, if you do those 2 things, rent increases and reduce your costs, you make the property more valuable. And then you can do a cash out refinance and use that to pay off the business credit, or you can use it as a down payment towards your next deal.
Right.
Okay.
Well,
all right, great.
That sounds like a great strategy.
Yeah, and I've definitely seen that email. So my next question, or last question I should say, is what would you say, Melvin, to that person who's sitting on the fence to join? Like, I'm not sure, it's out of market, 100% financing. What would you say to that person that's sitting on the fence?
I would just tell them, you have to take that leap of faith, just like anything else in life that you really want to do. It's scary at first, but I think the more that you kind of get ingrained, or you really want to do it, it tends to me it gets easier. So I would say definitely go for it.
I agree. It's kind of like doing multiplication. You remember like growing up and you had to memorize and write all your times tables? And of course,
Absolutely.
yeah, and it was frustrating until that repetition, it was easy. You just put it in the back of your hand, right? And I feel like it's the same way with investing in real estate. Maybe the first 2 or 3 deals you do is somewhat of a learning process, but then it gets to a point where it's easy.
Yeah, and that's what's just like, I really feel like the learning curve is somewhat tapering off, but I'm still hungry to learn, because I know that I'm not all the way 100% comfortable just yet, but I just know where I am now, I'm nowhere near where when I first started. So I just see the progress and the growth, and I'm happy with it, but I'm not content with it. So I'm just gonna keep on trucking.
All right, cool.
Absolutely.
Well, thanks, Melvin. I appreciate you. Appreciate your time. Hopefully you're doing well in South Carolina.
Yeah, no problem, Juan, and as well. But could I ask you one question?
Yes.
Or maybe it may be twofold. Okay.
Yeah,
So I guess at this point in time, when did you, I guess, get a CPA or an accountant to, I guess, deal with like tax strategies and wealth strategies? At what point do you go from your tax preparer to the CPA to take advantages of the taxes and the benefits of owning real estate?
Okay, so.
Or do you have a CPA or somebody, and like how much? Because I guess I'm just trying to. So I like the Robert Kiyosaki, Tom Wheelwright. So I've been following them, and I took a course, and so forth. And so I'm just like, is my portfolio too small to even jump to that leap? I don't want to put the cart before the horse, but I also want to contact and see how, maybe like, who do you know and what information that you possibly could share before. I mean, they charge like a $3,000 flat fee, and I'm just like, oh God. So I'm just like, man, I don't know where to go. I feel like, again, we're at this point of hey, you can get this business credit, you can turn it from credit to cash. I'm like, come on. So that's just kind of like where I'm at right now.
So I would say, for your first 2 deals, in my opinion, always CYA, contact an advisor. But from my experience, my first 2 deals, I didn't need a CPA. I just had a tax preparer, a tax professional prepare my taxes. Now, the
Okay.
one thing that you should use is the Schedule E as an Edward, and I have a blank template that I can email you as well. So that's why I was just taking a note. I have to send you
Okay.
quitclaim deed, contest taxes attorney, and also a template of the Schedule E. Now, the Schedule E, I did it myself. If I paid the water bill, I'll just type in, okay, it's May, I pay water bill for the whole property. So it's very easy to manage yourself for those 2 properties. I would say once you start, when I started getting a CPA, it was my 3rd year of investing because I was buying a lot more properties.
Gotcha.
So, to the point where I became financially free, that's when I hired a CPA. So that way they can help me with cost savings, as well as to they also helped me with making my tax filing as a real estate professional as well. So she did all that.
Right. Okay. That makes more sense. I got you.
Maybe not now. You can still, just hire a tax professional and you just keep your own books if you just have 6 units. But once I had 30 rental units, that's when I hired a CPA.
Okay. All right.
Cool. You said you had the second part to the question, right?
Oh, that was just basically what I went on my ramble, like, of that, like, is like that 3,000. Does that sound? I ain't trying to dip in your business or anything, but I guess what they told me, $3,000 flat fee. Is that typically, about the price range or cheaper, like what they charge?
I think it's on the high side. I have a current CPA, and she does my portfolio. She does books for 100% finance, and she does financial reports. She pretty much does the whole 9 yards, and their fee is $1,750 a month.
Okay.
And I have payroll, so she does payroll. So if you don't have any business, I think that person is way too expensive.
Right.
I say keep your costs low for now, but once you start having a portfolio where it's difficult for you to manage yourself, then I say at that point you should hire a CPA and see if they can update your tax filing as a real estate professional. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. See, man, you brought my doubt down a whole lot more. With the education is just asking questions, and so, man, I appreciate that.
Yeah, that's all it is. I'm glad you asked me those questions, and I definitely want you to use me as a resource. So if you have any questions moving forward, because sometimes, as you share, you might run into like a hiccup, like, oh yeah, hey Juan, I'm trying to contest my taxes, but the attorney said this, I'm not sure what he means. Just run it by me, so that way, I can help you out.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
All right, cool. So what I'm going to do now, Melvin, I'm just going to type up this email to you to send you those contacts in that Schedule E document, so you can start. And just make sure you meticulously jot down everything, all the rents and all the expenses on the Schedule E, because your tax preparer is going to need that when you file your taxes at the end of the next year.
Okay. Sure.
Right. Just give me about 10 minutes and you'll see it in your inbox. The email.
Okay. Yeah, I can do that.
All right, cool. All right. Well, thanks, Melvin. Appreciate your time.
Yeah, no problem, Juan. Thanks for checking up.
No problem. All right, we'll talk soon.
All right.